All right, shalom, shalom, everybody, shalom. Um, Shabbat shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor be to the Most High God. Um, Wanted to say, the water for those who tuning in, um, and for those who will watch after the video is finished. Shalom to you as well. Want to say a special Shabbat shalom to the brothers and sisters, who diligently seeking and pushing the truth. And I want to give us a hard shalom to the brothers going out to teach our people on the highways and byways later this afternoon. So a mighty shalom to them, mighty shalom to the women who are holding down, the facilities, uh, the organizations who are holding down the households. Meaning, like we said, we take none of this for granted. So just want to get on here with a Sabbath lesson today, man. It ain't ever necessarily a specific set title with me all the time because I speak about a multitude of different things from time to time, but um just want to get on here, man, and exhort the people to the best of our abilities, man, through the spirit, right? So I want to get precept to start off with. Let me get the book of Proverbs. I'm gonna share my screen too. Um I was down here. I'm gonna share my screen too, so that way y'all can follow along. All right, Khan. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, and want to get verse number 7. And it says, "Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding." Right. So anytime we open up the scriptures, right, we want to seek out wisdom, right? We want to seek out um, getting understanding of things that we need to understand in the spirit, right? Because without wisdom, we won't be able to understand this. You know. Let me go to the book of the staple, the one I always go to, Isaiah 28, Isaiah 28 and 9, right? And it says right here, and it says, "Whom shall teach thee knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast." Right? For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Right? That's the only way we'll understand this is with wisdom. It's wise to understand that a newborn child is not supposed to be given meat, right? Let's go to that. It's wise to understand that. I'm gonna go to First Peter 2 and 2 first. Salakia 2 and 2 first, and then we're gonna go to First Corinthians 3, right? Because this is where it says right here. It says, "As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby." Right? If so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious. Right? You got to desire the sincere milk of the word, right? Now, why is it saying as a newborn baby you have to desire that, right? Well, let's go to First Corinthians chapter 3 and verse number. We start at verse number 2. Let's go to First Corinthians 3 and 2. Matter of fact, let's start at 1. And it says, "And I," this is Paul speaking, "brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Christ. I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able." Right? You're not able to bear the meat of the Most High, early on. And that's why we going back to Proverbs chapter 4 and 7, hey, when it says wisdom is the principal thing, let's go back and read it again. It says, "Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding." Right? And everything that we do, we have to be getting understanding of the scriptures, which is why it's important to know that when we're sitting up here, reading, when we're teaching, doing lessons, anytime you open up the Bible, hey, wisdom should be the thing that you're praying for, regardless of whatever it is that you're studying. You should always be praying for wisdom. But you got to get wisdom by going back to what we said, precept upon precept, right? Line upon line, here a little, there a little. Let's go another place. This is the book of Psalms, chapter, going back to 119. There he is. And let's go back to 104. Psalms 119 and 104. And it says, through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. This is how we going to understand the scriptures, right? Through his precepts, like it says in Isaiah 28. This is how we're going to get wisdom, right? By going precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, and not chewing off, not biting too much off that we can chew. You know what I'm saying? I want to say that's in, let me pull that up real quick. Um, let me pull this up real quick, this precept that I got. See, see, not Con 3 and 22. I thought it was 3 and 21, but shalom to the brothers, man. That's on here.
Shalom.
Dang, I went the wrong way. Salakia. I'm gonna go to the Apocrypha real quick, pull up a precept. It's the book
Khan,
of
man. You know,
Ecclesiastes. Go ahead.
not bad. The Khan, the brother's right, man. Wisdom is a principal thing. If you pray for anything, man, it should be wisdom because everything else will fall into place, man. You want that virtuous wife. Wisdom will tell you how to get it, right? You want to be financially stable. Wisdom will tell you how to get it, right? Most importantly, if you want the kingdom, right? If you want that eternal life, right? Everlasting salvation, wisdom will show you how to get it.
Con, right? Hey, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3 and verse 21. And it says, seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. This is why when you go back to First Corinthians 3 and 2, Paul was telling the people, look, I couldn't talk to you spiritual, I had to talk to you carnal, because you're not able to, you weren't fit enough to chew the meat. Neither are you still able, right? Because you're still carnal. And this is literally what wisdom is. It's just like we got to understand that when we're searching out the spirit of wisdom, when we're reading the scriptures, when we're studying the Bible, we have to seek wisdom. You know, we have to move with wisdom all the days of our life, right? Now, how do you obtain wisdom? You want to obtain wisdom. Let's go to somewhere to show that. How do we obtain wisdom as such? It said, if thou desire wisdom, do what? Keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee. Right? If you desire to know exactly, what it is that your purpose in life is, you keep the commandments. Because it literally Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 says the same things. That's the whole duty of man, is to fear God and keep the commandments. It ain't no other way for real that there is no other way to say that. Fear God and keep the commandments is the whole duty of man. So we gotta honestly move with the spirit of wisdom. And that's how we get it, by doing the things that the Lord commanded us to do. Right? It ain't no other way we can go around that. Let me pull up this other precept. Let me go back to Proverbs chapter. I'm going back to the book of Proverbs. Matter of fact, I want to read this real quick, right? Let me read this real quick. It says, this is Sirach chapter 3. Excuse me, Sirach chapter 1. And I'm gonna start at let me start at verse number 14, right? It says, to fear the Lord, the fear of the Lord, or to fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, right? And it was created with the faithful in the womb. You see that? So wisdom was created with the faithful in the womb, right? It says, she hath built an everlasting foundation with men, and she shall continue with their seed, right? Hey, if we continue to serve the Lord, wisdom will continue with us, right? And it says, to fear the Lord is fullness of wisdom, and filleth men with her fruits, right? She filleth all their house with things desirable, and the garners with her increase, right? It says, to fear the Lord is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish, both which are gifts of God, and it enlargeth their rejoicing that love him. So if we move with the spirit of wisdom, we're going to glorify the Lord. We're going to rejoice in the Lord more and more, right? Let me hold that, and let me pull a precept. Let me pull a precept to that. right? It's going to another book, the book of Sirach, same book, just different place. Chapter 43 and 30. I know I've read this online before, right? But this literally goes back to saying what this says. It says that, and it enlargeth their rejoicing that love him. Well, when you go here, let me go here, share screen. I'm just share the window. Yeah, share window. Sirach 43 and 30. And it says, when ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. If we move with the spirit of wisdom, you will see how even in exalting the Lord is something that we'll do more and more, and we can go far and far. You can't never glorify the Most High's name too much. You know, a lot of people think that even like when we praying sometimes, and I'm guilty as charged. So um, I ain't condemning nobody, but when I'm looking at myself, even sometimes when I'm praying, man, I feel like, I say thank you so many times, and I just be like, hey, in my mind, I'm just like, bro, stop saying thank you. He knows, but you can never say thank you enough. You can never glorify the Most High enough for the things that He's done for us. You can never, truly understand how much we owe the Most High that thanks. We don't know the mind of the Lord. We can't understand His ways. Our thoughts are not His thoughts. Our ways are not His ways. So we can't sit up here and say that the Lord is tired of me saying thank you. You know, the Lord is deserved that thanks. He's deserved that glory and that honor. And when we don't give him his due reverence and due benevolence, it's one of them things like we're robbing him from the gratitude that we're supposed to give him.
Con, too. A cool little example or parallel, or it's just wisdom too, right? A lot of times we do run out of things to say when we pray, right? And sometimes we just overwhelmed or just fully filled with gratitude, and we really just want to express how grateful we are sometimes, right? I get that a lot, to where I might be some, we have highs and lows in life, and in those times we do ask of God, because we're not going to ask of any other God. But when those times come where you kind of feel like you up, or like you him, right? Or like you have emotion, right? When you're at those times of, what I'm saying, you're up, right? You're in good spirits. You just want to thank God. And a lot of times words escape you. So a good trick for that is to read certain prayers in the Bible, like when Daniel prayed, when Joseph prayed, when Manasseh prayed, when Esther prayed, when Judith prayed. Read certain prayers in the Bible, Mordecai, right? Read certain prayers in the Bible and have those things be your filler, right? Because they worship and glorify God in a flattering way, right? When you watch old timey or medieval like videos, and they have kings and things of that nature and queens, right? That king or that queen will sit on the throne, and peasants and officers and all different walks of life, people will come into her castle or his castle and start giving oblations, right? Meaning, Lord of the North, you conquered so and so and so and so and so many days. You blah 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 and blah blah blah. Thou art the only one that has restored the people. Thou blah blah blah, right? And then that king or that queen will say, "Thou hast spoken well. Ask what you need," right? And so when we read these scriptures, we read how our forefathers talked to God, the one that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, the one that's continued to showing mercy to those that love him, the one that gave us a promise and made a covenant with us, the one that governs our lives and governs our people, the one that has the power to put a spiritual blindness on us and wake us up again. The one, when you start giving those flattering things, saying those flattering things, it's not saying that he doesn't know that he did those things, right? But it's flattering him to where he'll have open ears for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of glorifying as well.
Hey, boast in the Lord, man. Boast in the Lord. Because at the same time, like the brother saying, our people did when they prayed to the Lord, man, they offered up these oblations. They was boasting in the Lord just by not saying of themselves what they did in the Lord's name, but what the Lord did on their behalf, for his purpose, for his calling, for his election, right? That's one of the things that when you have wisdom that you'll do. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back to Sirach chapter 1, right? Because like we said, hey, look, going back to verse 26. If thou desires wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee. The Most High is not going to give us, you know, wisdom if we don't keep his commandments, right? That's just like giving wisdom. Matter of fact, let me get that in Proverbs real quick. Let me get that in Proverbs. Because we got to understand that when we're desiring, it's not that you desire this for because you just want it. We need wisdom, right? Um right here, verse 23, right? Proverbs 10 and 23. It is a sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom, right? It's a sport to a fool to do the things against the most high God, right? Hey, let me go to another place real quick. Right. Let me go to another place. This is the book of wait, hold on. I gotta go here first. Salakia. I gotta pull this up. This is Second Maccabees chapter 4. And let me get 16. Second Maccabees chapter 4 and 17. It says, "For it is not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of God, but the time following shall declare these things." Right? It's not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of the Most High God. The same way it's a sport to a fool to do mischief. Right? It's a sport. Like, there's many ways that people can interpret this and break this down. And I'm not saying there's no necessarily wrong or right way, because everybody has a different, and I ain't gonna say a different interpretation. Let me be witty with my words. There's more than one way to understand why it is a sport to a fool to do something against the most high God. Maybe in this, like in today's society, right? I seen a post where it said that people think cheating in this day and age is a flex. That's why they scared of love, because they think cheating is a flex. So now that people glorify sneaky links, they glorify sleeping with somebody else's significant other. You know what I'm saying? In this day and age, we got people trying to get back on somebody for doing something. Or hey, look, I gotta be that nigga that I gotta, excuse me for my word, but I gotta be known as that dude to sleep with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sleep with your girl, and I'm gonna make it my mission to sleep with your girl. Now he gonna put in work. He gonna train to get, you know what I'm saying, your girl outside of her element, outside of what she's supposed to be for you. So now he's training himself. That's something that people who play sports do. That's something that gets a person who's wicked off. That gets them off when they can do the things that they're not supposed to be doing. That's why, like we say, in this day and age, we glorify the wrong things, sneaky links. We glorify uh disrespecting our parents. We glorify, killing each other. We glorify demoralizing one another. I mean, this society is backwards.
Yeah, I say whenever I think of the word sport, I think of competition. So I
Right,
really like it is as competition to a fool to do mischief,
right,
because our people, man, we just want to be the top scammer. We want to be the top, what I'm saying? Like you said, Mr. Steal Your Girl, we want to be the top dude with all the, what I'm saying? We want to have the baddest rep, right? Because bad is good and good is evil. Bitter is sweet and sweet is bitter. That's the times we living in, right? So it's a competition for our people, like the brother's saying, man, to do mischief, because
right,
we get praised for, like it says in Proverbs. I forgot what Proverbs it says it in, but it says, the wicked get praised, right? And those that obey the law always are contending with them. So
hey, that's Proverbs what, 24 at
might be 20,
24.
might be 28.
Kind. I know it's in one of them, but I mean that's literally exactly what it is. Like, if I know that, you know what I'm saying, like I can get your girl, I'm gonna make it my mission to do so. Now it's a competition, because see, there's somebody out here who feel like they can sleep with everybody, and I can't let that person sleep with more girls than I can. So now I gotta make it my mission to take everybody girl. That's how it kind of is when it comes to reading this. When you understanding what this says, that don't. I mean, like we saying, going back to um Salakia, going back to Second Maccabees, it's not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of God. But like we say, in this society, in this day and age, that's all we want to do. That's all we want to do is do wickedly against the laws. All we want to do is go against the Most High's commandments, right? We don't want to do anything that I want to say we don't want to do anything according to what the Most High God said. I wanted to pull up I wanted to pull up a video because that went right into what I was saying, but I think it got taken down off social media, right? I think it got taken down off social media because I had a video that I wanted to play that went right into what I was speaking on. Dang, and I think it did. I thought I shared it. Let me see if I saved it first because it goes right into what I was saying. Dang, nah, I didn't save it. It's cool because there's another one on here too. I want to say fair use before I share this. Hold on. Let me stop sharing my screen so that way it don't pull up my social media information. Facebook. Okay, and I'm already on my profile. Let me see. Click on my profile. Dang, I'm mad because the video that I wanted to play was like how we said it's a competition to do wickedly. So it was between two battle rappers. One of them was known as uh dang, he be on MTV Wild and Out. I just forgot his name just that fast. He be on Wild and Out. He always got a hat on. No, not conceited. Tall, Big T. Hitman Holla. Hitman Holla. It was between Hitman Holla and I forgot there's another battle rapper name, and they was just going back and forth about, who came from where. Hitman Holla sitting up here like, man, I came from St. Louis, Missouri. It's a dangerous city, the most dangerous city in the United States of America. This, that, and the third, right? So they was pretty much going back and forth about being from being from a dangerous place. And pretty much, man, that's how our people are. It's just like we try to compete to see who's the hardest from wickedness. You know what I'm saying? Who's from the most wicked place and who did the most wicked acts in that wicked place, because that solidifies you as a real street or a real hard dude. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no cap though. I be getting in arguments with some of my friends back in the world. Well, I don't get into them no more, but back in the world, when I used to get in like arguments, like you would try to say something that qualifies you or validates you, and it's always that one dude that grew up really bad, that grew up, what I'm saying, maybe, you know, uh, in a broken parent household. He grew up like with nothing, bouncing from house to house, might have been in the projects, you know what I'm saying? It was always that one person that just was like, you ain't from no hood, you ain't did, bro. You know what I'm saying? As if to say he was more real of a person than I was, right? And back in the day, we kind of accepted that, right? If you went through the most, you was real, right? And if you didn't, you was just not real. You was corny or cheesy or whatever. But that's the thing, man. We got to start normalizing the good. We can't. We got to stop validating the bad and normalizing the good, right? Instead of us, you know what I'm saying, going to the hood, we get people to get famous, right? Never been to the hood, but then now all of a sudden they got money and they famous, they go to the hood. We got to start validating, right, the good. So that way our brothers won't be like Ja Morant, right? You know what I'm saying? And when you make it, you actually be fruitful to people around you instead of detrimental to yourself, right?
Dang, that is spot on, dude. That's literally spot on. Because we see the situation, what's going on with, what I'm saying, brother Ja Morant. And the brothers from Sons of Thunder did a video on it on one of their Milk Mondays, and it was called don't return to your vomit. You know what I'm saying? And that's in Proverbs too. It's just like, as a dog returning to his vomit, so shall a fool return to his folly. But shalom, shalom. But it's one of them things like we shouldn't dang, we shouldn't glorify the life that we shouldn't glorify, you know what I'm saying, a life that we're trying to escape from, you know. But this is the video that I want to play right here. But this is the video I want to play right here. Con. Let me first of all, can y'all hear that?
No.
Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen. Let me go to share tab.
Yeah.
Share tab audio. But like brother Azrael was just saying, man, we always try to glorify life that some of us ain't really live like that, you know. I was just talking to my rib last night about just some of the struggles that I had growing up. But I don't sit up here and try to use that to turn me into anything that I really ain't who I am for real. You know, I had all the reason in the world to take a different path, you know what I'm saying, than I'm trying to take. I had all the ammunition I needed, but I don't sit up here and compare. Like, I don't go through argue with people and compare struggles, because like I was telling my wife, the Migos got a song and they got a song, and they had it came out like when I was a senior in high school, and it was called The Struggle. Everybody been through it, everybody used to it, and then nobody new to it. We all gonna go through it. I don't know if y'all heard that song before, but everybody goes through something in life, man. And the biggest thing we got to understand is this is how you apply wisdom. You apply wisdom to the situation, as in understanding, okay, this is where I'm at, but this don't where but I don't have to end up that way, or end up in that place, or end up in this situation. Even though I'm here, I don't have to end up there. I can go a different route. And that's just kind of like how we need to apply wisdom to our people in this day and age. But see, we don't have that because we weren't taught the right and wrong way. That goes back into the lesson that, you know, the brother Donald did about, you know, how to treat your child, chastising your child, making sure that you're not, especially setting your house in order. And one of the last things he covered was how to discipline a child. You know, Proverbs 22:6, raise up a child in the way they should go, or train up a child in the way they should go, and when they old, they won't turn from it. I want to play this clip real quick though. I'm gonna get to the point. Though, because this is where it started escalating at. So you finna listen, you finna see and hear exactly what they talking about, what they going over, and you're gonna see how like it's gonna apply to what we saying. Let me know if y'all can hear. But before I play this, I want to say fair use. We don't own no content to, you know, the creators and the publishers, producers of this sit down between Cassidy and Hitman Holla. We don't own anything from worldstarhiphop.com, nor do we own anything whoever uploaded this to the YouTube channel. We want to use this to educate our people. Fair use. We don't own the copyrights of it.
Still trying to catch up to what I made
trying
up
to catch up shit, bro.
I'm
You
the
20
highest
years
paid battle
behind.
rapper.
And Salakia for the language. I apologize. It is vulgar language in here, but please bear with me.
Ever.
Bro,
in
there's
history.
2,000. No, you're not.
history.
No, you're not.
You can add up all of them battles. You've been in like 70 of them.
You can't.
Add up all
30,
of them,
30,
and that's
you
just
can't.
still don't add
Bet
up to
on
what
it.
I be getting.
Won't you
You get a
gonna bet
little
on-
bit of paper.
Or you go, who get, I got way more money than you. I'm willing to bet everything I'm talking about.
Yo,
I don't
I'm
just
not here to
argue.
have a money contest.
Well, shut up
There's
then.
some niggas that's
Well,
gonna
shut
be
up
broker than
then.
me,
Well,
and there's
shut
some
up
niggas
then.
that's gonna be
Well, don't
richer
talk
than
money
me.
to me.
But I
Don't
fuck
talk
more
money to
bitches
me.
than you.
No,
I'm
you
tougher
do.
than you.
How?
My street credibility
You
is
tougher than
way
me.
crazier
You
than
tougher than
yours.
me.
Everything
Hey,
further than me
Google
about you.
Hitman
wanna
Holla.
argue-
You heard what he said? He said, I got more money than you. I got more women than you. My street credibility is more than yours. So already we see that we got two brothers, right? And they going back and forth about who got the most wickedness, pretty much. You know, who got the most wickedness, right? And like we read in the book of Maccabees, hey, it's not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of God. The problem is, again, even when we went back to the video of being products of our own environment that we did with Blueface and Krishan Rock, you got to think about it like this. Our people weren't taught to truly follow the Most High. You know, our people weren't taught the righteous way of living. So this is why we have situations like this where grown men are arguing about, hey, I've been through the slums more than you. When really we all been through the slums, you know?
And then also they are trying to compare money to, like, this is what the beast system wanted, man. We'll sit back and watch these Negroes fight over what we give them. We allow them to have platforms. We allow them to make this money that we print. And guess what? They'll fight each other because they're not going up to the white to so-called white men or the so-called Arab or the so-called Asian and saying I got more money than you. You're not going up to them saying I'm from the hood. You know why? Because they're in a different tax bracket. They're in a different league. The only person we can buck up against is ourselves, man, and that's the way the system has had it. And so we can't be in competition with ourselves, right? To do folly and mischief when we need to be in competition to be the most successful nation out there, bro. And that's the only way we're gonna get that is through wisdom.
Right. Hey, through wisdom, this is how we obtain all the blessings that were promised to us. But we don't move with wisdom because we don't keep the commandments. It literally said, if thou desires wisdom, keep the commandments. Let me read this real quick I'll read it from my phone. That way I don't drop the video. But let me read this from my phone. This is Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 19, and I'm gonna read verse number 20. And it says, the fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency. Right? So the fear of the Most High is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law. But our people are a wisdomless society. You know, we look at black athletes and black entertainers, right, as if they got all the knowledge in the world. But that's only because they got money. But that ain't wisdom. You know, we got to understand that we have to move a certain way when it comes to wanting the knowledge of the Most High. When it comes to wanting to actually be wise, this ain't one of the ways to go about it. But let's continue the video.
You this money.
Google hit me
I
and
don't
holler.
know your accountant.
Google hit
I
me
don't
and
know
holler.
your bank
Bro,
account.
I
don't know what the fuck you got. I don't give a fuck about what you got in your
Anybody in
bank
this
account.
room, every nigga with you, Google hit me and holler. I lay niggas out for a living. Fuck what you talking
How
about?
you lay niggas out for a living? You joke on wilding
Google,
out for
all
a
that
living.
laughing, Google
You
me.
joke on wilding
Google
out
me.
for a living. You don't
Google
knock
me.
nobody out. I never seen
Google
you
me.
knock nobody out for a
Google
living.
right now.
I never seen
Pull
you
out
get
your
no
phone.
money off knocking
Pull out
nobody
your
out.
phone.
I never
Pull
seen
out
you
your
make
phone.
no money
Don't
off.
You see what they saying? Like, I never, you ain't did this for a living. You ain't hurt nobody from a living. You ain't robbed your brother for a living. You know what I'm saying? And Hitman Holler's like, Google me. Like Shaq was telling Charles Barkley, Google me, Chuck. You know what I'm saying? Google me, Chuck. The same thing that Hitman Holler's telling Cassidy. He's saying, hey, look, Google me. Google Hitman Holler. See what Hitman Holler do outside of Wild and Out. See how Hitman Holler live outside of Wild and Out. You know what I'm saying? And this is not to bring condemnation on Hitman Holler himself, but this is the more so focus on this is how, like the brother Azrael said, society has tricked us into being our biggest enemy, right? We're now our biggest enemy because instead of focusing on how do we come together, we're now divided. We're now, like we said, we're not moving with the spirit of wisdom. And now all of a sudden we're comparing money, we're comparing cars, we're comparing women, we're comparing acts of violence that I've committed. And as if that's some type of flex.
How many views has this video got?
270,000 views, but it probably got more on the original channel that this was uploaded to.
Right. I'm just saying, man, it's a lot of views, man. And then I'm looking at the mediator. The mediator just look all calm and comfortable, like, man, I'm finna make a lot of money off this podcast. But my thing is this, huh?
You'll see what he do. I'm gonna play partially of it. I'm not gonna play the full video, but keep going. Salakia.
Con, well, let me not speak before turn. Then I was gonna say something. I'll save it till after we done watching it.
Right, but no, you can make that assessment right now. Like right now, he's like these dudes arguing. He ain't gonna get in the middle of that. You wanna know why? Because he probably ain't put in quote unquote put in work like these two have, right? So he just kind of playing his part. He letting them face off. This is what the fans want to see. You know, two battle rappers. The fans want to see that, right? They want to see arguments. Our people want to see violence. You know what I'm saying? Just like that's why when there's a fight, man, at school, when there's a fight at school, people run into the fight. You'll see probably 50, 60 people at a fight that's in the hallway at school. Because what do our people love to do? Our people love to run to mischief, right? And I'm gonna read this in Proverbs 6:16 real quick. It says, these 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination. And it says, a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that he that soweth discord among brethren, right? These 6 things doth the Lord hate. 7 of them are abominations, but guess what? Do you think our people truly understand that concept? No. They don't. And like we said, we can't get on here and just solely condemn our people, because we have to understand that we were robbed and spoiled according to Isaiah chapter 42. We've lost our heritage according to Jeremiah chapter 17. So our parents couldn't do like Proverbs 22:6 says, train us up in the way that we should go, the righteous way, like it tells us to do in Deuteronomy 4:9 and Isaiah chapter 54. Our parents weren't able to do those things because why? We've discontinued from our heritage. Now we don't even know what righteousness is like. That's how you get in situations where you got 2 men arguing on TV about, I put in more work than you. You know? And it's kind of sad, honestly, because at the end of the day, you know, this ain't even something that we should be bragging about or boasting in. But like we say, our people, we desire wickedness, right? But let me play the video some more.
Bring up no tough shit to me.
nigga. What is you talking about?
I seen you get grabbed on stage and pushed all around the fucking stage.
Pull out your
A
phone.
nigga ain't never touched me on stage.
Nigga,
A nigga ain't never touched me on stage. And I battled the biggest bullies in this bitch. They know better. I done watched the nigga drag this nigga across the fucking stage.
Nah, you ain't watching
Don't play with me. Man, Arsenal put his hands on you like a little fucking kid. Like 100 pounds you weigh. Get your little bitty ass over and he threw you across the fucking stage.
On that same stage
Let a nigga touch me.
Arsenal was apologizing.
And again, Salakia, for the language, I apologize, but we just want to give the raw and uncut version of what's going on.
Because it was about to get ugly for us.
A nigga don't gotta apologize.
Just like it get ugly for anybody else that tried to.
Nigga not gonna do that.
I've been around way longer than you, and nothing never happened to me. Nothing. I never even got plucked, nigga.
Bro,
fuck is you talking about? I never even got plucked before.
I'm really in that.
And I've been in the streets with real niggas. You talking about Arsenal? I'm really in that. He a battle rapper. Like, what the fuck Arsenal gonna do?
You brought up tough shit.
I've been in the streets with real niggas and nothing ever happened to me.
You brought up tough shit.
You talking about battle rap shit.
You brought up tough shit, bro.
No, I'm talking about real shit.
You brought up tough shit, bro.
You talking about battle rap shit.
City to city, bro.
Arsenal.
I was city to city. I'm more good in Philly than you. Fuck is you talking about?
So, like we saying, it's just an onslaught of going back and forth, man. It's just the onslaught of going back and forth. But I want to get to the part to show the brother Azrael with the here you go, right here. So here you go. I'm finna show him what the buddy do.
You try to grab me and watch what happens.
All right.
You try to grab me and watch what happens.
Stupid shit.
You try to grab me and watch what happens.
It's battle rap now. All right.
All right. Now you're not even that type of guy. You're not even that type of guy, bro. You're not even that type of guy.
They supposed to be here talking about battle rap, and now they getting off into you ain't gonna touch me. I bet you don't touch me, because I fast forward that part. Hitman Holla said that to Cassidy, I bet you don't touch me. Now the moderator, you know what I'm saying, the interviewer, he trying to come in and just kind of like, all right, let's get back to battle rap.
I don't know who told you about me, bro. But you obviously
that's one. I don't give a fuck about
just make it two. Just make it two.
Just make it two. Just make it two. I don't give a fuck if it's the littlest nigga. I will hurt you. The biggest nigga.
All right. I will hurt you.
You would never hurt me. I will beat the shit out
son. I will hurt you.
All right. No.
What y'all doing?
All right, so long story short, man, it's pretty much you see what's going on, right? It's unruly. It's chaos in there, right? There are bad words coming out each other's mouth, you know what I'm saying? Hate towards one another, right? Let me read this precept real quick. This is Proverbs 26:5. And it says, there be 3 things that mine heart feareth, and the 4th I was so afraid: the slander of a city, the gathering of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death, right? So we got to understand that, hey, look, a gathering of an unruly multitude, right? The same thing that when people go watch these battle raps and they go watch these men disrespect each other on stage. And I don't recommend people, like, if you ain't the type of person if you don't watch battle raps, if you don't want to hear a bunch of foul language and a bunch of serious disrespect, because it's all that is contained in there. And that's what a multitude of people gathered to watch these men do. The same way we see that a multitude of people wanted to come watch these men have a face-off because, again, there's a lot of tension, a lot of animosity towards one another. It's a lot going on, right? But at the same time, like we said, there is no wisdom in this situation because if there was, hey, we wouldn't be in this position to begin with, right? Did brothers have anything to add? Because I didn't want to just keep talking. Brothers want to say something. Khan.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, man. I'm not gonna bring out the precepts. I had them ready, but I'm gonna paraphrase briefly. We want to have wisdom because the only people that's gonna make it to the kingdom are the people that's gonna have wisdom, right? And if you're not a wise person, it's going to escape you. Meaning, it's the Most High God's not gonna send you wisdom, right? We see in Second Esdras how he told Esdras, "Hey, write all these words in a book and show them to the wise of your people, but to the unwise, don't show it to them." Right? We see also in the book of Matthew, right? Don't cast your pearls before swine, right? I think that's the book of Matthew. It might have been something else. But we also see in the book of Matthew, I speak to them in parables. For them having eyes, they see not, and ears, they hear not. They're not wise. Meaning, you have to seek this wisdom, man. It's going to be the stability of your times. And if you're not seeking wisdom and you're all about folly and mischief, right? The time's going to pass you by when he's selecting his remnant of people, right? And that's all I got to say, man. Seek wisdom because ultimately that's the only thing that's going to get you to the kingdom, man. And that's something that a lot of people aren't searching for nowadays, man. We searching for all the spiritual gifts in the world except for wisdom, right? We want to speak in tongues. We want to be prophetic. We want to be the best teachers. We want to be the best, but a lot of us, we're not seeking wisdom, right? It's not just enough to know the law. We got to apply the law, right? Because, a lot of people that know the law make it a sport to get around the law, right? And it's a competition to get who can come to the closest to the edge, right? Who can come the closest to sin without sinning, right? Who could do something to be caused as a stumbling block just so brothers and sisters can come up and ask them, bro, you're sinning, just so they can bring them to the scriptures, right? Let's not be stumbling blocks, man. Let's all seek wisdom. Let's all be like King Solomon, right? Instead of asking for those riches and the things of that nature, ask for wisdom, and that's going to be the mother of all of those things.
Khan, I think I want to bring out a precept really quick. So let's see here. Right. Can brother pull out? Well, I'll read it off my phone. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 4.
I'll put it up on the screen if you wanted me to.
Nah, it's all good. I'll read off the phone. The book of Colossians, chapter 4 and verse 6. Let your speech be also with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how to answer every man, right? And so the Bible talks about, having seasoned speech, right? And we see the brothers on the stage right now, right, displaying the level of ignorance that they have, right? It reminds me of that episode of Power. I don't know if you guys watch Power, but the brother Tariq was talking to the sister Effie, and they're going back and forth, and Tariq is trying to have a logical, sensible conversation, and Effie is just speaking out of emotion. And one thing Tariq said at the end before he left was, "Man, you're just so damaged." Right? A lot of us, when we're damaged, right, you can hear it in our speech. Like the brother, right? We always talk about being seasoned in your speech and staying away from profanity, right? It's just the most expedient thing to do right now, right? But when you don't, people can understand and they can see how damaged you actually are, right? They can see how you act off of emotion. When we look at this brother right here on the screen, man, seeing how he gets all worked up, see the other brother, right? The brother that only weigh $120, he was slick, kind of chilling the whole time. But the person that felt tried and the person that was speaking out of emotion was the most damaged person. And we can tell by his speech, His speech was not seasoned, right? He didn't have a care for who was going to see this video, right? He was speaking strictly out of emotion, right? So we all got to understand, man, with this truth and with this wisdom comes what? Knowing how to season your speech, right?
Yeah.
And so we gotta, and a lot of us tell on ourselves, right? And like the brothers was going back and forth. I mean, not back and forth, but they was going and they were reminiscing about times about people boasting on where they came from and who they were, this, that, and the third. All of that is because they're damaged. All of that is speaking out of emotion, right? They're not seasoned with their speech. It would be wise for you not to tell somebody where you were or what you came from, right?
And don't get the brother wrong either. There's some brothers that come from those type of backgrounds, and they, you know what I'm saying, they're wise in their speech, right?
But that's what I'm saying. That's
right.
exactly what I'm saying. You can come from that and you can still be seasoned in your speech. You can be damaged in the past, but it won't show in the future that you're still damaged. This brother, the level of ignorance that he's displaying, showing that he is still damaged and he's
like
without wisdom.
Kind of like Foster, or I mean, I don't know who Foster is, but like, but like the brother was saying earlier, man. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what he's went through, he's chosen a different path. That, you know, he could have chose any path that he wanted to, but he chose a different path. And nobody has to know his background. Nobody has to know certain things that he went through, because ultimately, when we come in this truth, man, we are new creatures. You know what I'm saying? And I like what the brother Denal was just saying about seasoned speech too, because we take that for granted, and that's not being wise. When we look at Christ, he was a man of few words, right? Nobody knew what he was thinking. Nobody knew what he was, people were scared to talk to him at times. And that's because he was wise, right? And he knew how to have that poker face to where people can't just blatantly blame him for something. That's why he was blameless. He didn't say nothing wrong. He didn't do nothing wrong. But when you are filled with mischief, it's going to come out in your speech. And this is why when we see like the different camp beefs, right? When we see different altercations, when people go out and evangelize, it all comes from speech, the way that you convey something to somebody. When the F words start coming out and the N words start coming out and all these profane words start coming out, that's when you're gonna start seeing altercations happen. Right. The brother went over Blueface and his girl and his family. When them cuss words start coming out, that's when the folly start coming out, right? And a lot of brothers and sisters, they'll try to justify cursing, but nothing good comes from profane language, man.
We gotta abstain from all appearances of evil, man. And with that being said, man, you know, when you speak strictly off of emotion, when you speak and you're full of being damaged, right? A lot of times, man, you know, when I examine the situation, a lot of times I feel like those people are what they call today cap. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Stop the cap.
the brother's going on and on and on about what he done did and don't play with me, this, that, and the third. The brother is sitting right across from you, bro, and he's trying you. You're not doing nothing but getting worked up.
Right. If you gotta say, I'm more good in Philly than you, you might not be as good in Philly as he is, then, bro.
Not only
if you gotta say that,
you're talking about it don't matter where I'm at, what I'm doing, what time, place, no matter what type of stage I'm on. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to get to it right now if you're feeling tried and you getting that worked up. It's like our little cousin yesterday, right? We talked to him. He said, "Oh, I'll take you to so-and-so house. I'll take you to Teddy's house. Yeah, you'll see he's throwed." I told him, I said, if the brother is only 19, 20 years old, he grew up in a suburban household with a mother and a father. He makes straight A's and goes to a good school. He's
graduated with honors.
He's pretending he is not throwed. I said, you are too young to know what a real throwed person looked like that actually went through things, bro.
Right. When you go to college, you'll know who's throwed and who not. And 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a local or somebody that just hang around, bro. And that's when you'll finally realize, oh, that boy throwed. Hey, I can't trust him. Yeah, I don't know what he might do.
I guarantee you, my cousin is calling this man throwed, and no one has any type of record of what this man has done or anything. Neither has they seen him do it.
He probably just won the most slapboxing fights in the bathroom or something.
In his 19 years of living, man. Come on, man. Let's be real. But my point is this though. My point is this, right? Wisdom comes with those who grow, right? You can't stay the same. So if you're still acting, speaking, and moving like you're still damaged, right? Wisdom is not with you. The
And
brother
that's
talked
wisdom
about
too, though,
the brother talked
because
about what's the
Slovakia.
name? And I was gonna bring out one more point before I let you go. Um the brother talked about accomplishing much in little speech, right? With accomplishing much with little speech, man, comes one of our favorite precepts where it talks about what? It's better to hide your folly. It's better to hide your folly than let it show. If you went through some folly, if you did some folly, it's better to keep that in the bank, keep it in your back pocket than to let it show. That's showing your ignorance, not your wisdom.
I was gonna say, and when you're wise and when you have wisdom, man, you're able to just take a step back and see everything as clear as possible, right? For example, the same situation with our cousin, right? You didn't even know his friends, but when you said that, and you could just examine the matter. When you're wise, you can examine anything, man, right? If first of all, he that is spiritual is judge of nothing, but he himself, he can judge all things. So you don't have to meet somebody or anything, but somebody say he throwed, you can just examine the matter. How old is he? Where he come from? Where he stay at? How does he perform in school? And you can break all those things down right before his eyes. And now we got our cousin questioning, is he throwing for real? He might not, he might be pretending.
Even
You know what I'm
even
saying?
in even in nature, man, right? As I walked my dog this morning, right? There was a dog that broke loose, right? There was actually two dogs. One dog was a pit bull, right? He was barking like crazy. I'm talking about, how pit bulls be, right? There's another dog. It was a Labrador Retriever. It was a chocolate lab, right? And so both of them are barking like crazy, and I got a little puppy right now, you know what I'm saying? But my puppy, he's cool, he be chilling, you know what I'm saying? He don't bark back or anything, right? Both of these dogs, they got the meanest bark, got the fur standing up on the back of their back, right? They charging. As soon as they get up on my dog, right? It's all playtime, bro. Sniff, sniff, play. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. A lot of times, and this is cliche, but a lot of times, man, the biggest bark is the smallest bite. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of people are. Just because you've been damaged, just because you want to prove something, right? You're showing your level of ignorance and not wisdom.
Being throwed is like being throwed off. Like you're throwed off mentally, throwed off in the head. Like you're not all the way put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and you know what? I'm gonna speak to the advocate of. I just put that on the screen, but I'm gonna speak to the advocacy of brother Hitman Holla. This man ain't everything that he's saying about Hitman. Whether it be true or a lie, we know for a fact that all he's doing is he's just instigating. You know what I'm saying? And what Hitman is saying about him is actually true. Like he actually did get yoked up by somebody and dragged across the stage before. Like, and he's sitting up here in the chair talking to him like he's tough, but he ain't. You know what I'm saying? No better either. Both of these brothers have, and I can't even say. I'm gonna say like this: both of these brothers have to do some serious self-examination because at the end of the day, but they don't know any better. I'm not, and that's not to say that we should give them a pass because they don't know any better. No, Acts 17:30. At the time of this ignorance, God winked at now and calleth all men now everywhere to repent. Right. So we have a period right now that we're under to get things in order. Right. A part of getting things in order is to understand what wisdom really is. Right. And going back to Sirach 1 and 14, the fear of the Lord is all wisdom. And Sirach 19:20 says, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law. You know what I'm saying? We can't sit up here and act like, you know, because I've been through this, I'm tougher than you. I would never make that claim because there's a lot of things in my childhood that I didn't seen, that I done went through. And if I was really that dude, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. Only because there's a lot of things that I've seen and went through that probably could have altered my career path because if I just wanted to be that dude, I could have had opportunities to show myself as such. But that ain't something that I was in the business of. I never really want to be a real tough guy. I only started want to be more in tune with that life when I started hanging around it more. And I wasn't hanging around it by choice. You know, it wasn't like I just chose to find out where some of the most wicked things in our community was going on and let me be there. Nah, I was put in certain situations where that was my environment every day and I couldn't escape it. And I wanted to be a part of it when I started hanging around it, not because it just looked cool, but because I realized that they were going through the same things that I was going through. And they took this route to handle the situations that they were in. I feel as if I wanted to take that same route because it would make me at least feel better about being where I'm at. And that's not necessarily true, you know? And that's why we got to understand we have to move with the spirit of wisdom to avoid being in these situations, man, to avoid having situations where, like the brother brought up, camp banging, spot banging. You know what I'm saying? It was a situation that happened between two organizations within Israel, man. And I love them brothers to death. You know what I'm saying? Like I love all Israel, man. I love all our brothers across every organization. Ain't no hate for nobody in my heart. And if there is, Most High purge it out of me. You know what I'm saying? I love all brothers. But we got to get to a point whereas in all brothers love all brothers the same way. You know, like we prayed this morning, Sirach 25:1. There be things that the Most High was beautified in and stood up beautiful before both God and men. The love of neighbors, the unity of brethren, and a man and a wife that agree together. You know what I'm saying? We have to start being brotherly towards one another. I want to read this precept. This is First John. Salakia for the background noise. But this is First John chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse number 10. And it says, He that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him. So if we love each other, ain't no occasion of stumbling in us because we love our brothers, right? Let's read verse 11. But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness hath blinded his eyes, right? Hey, there's a bunch of precepts that you could attach to this to make a whole lesson out of. We're children of the light, right? We know that blindness in part had happened to Israel, right? We understand that if the laws, statutes, and commandments are a light, the laws are a light and the commandments are a lamp, according to Proverbs 23 and 6. I mean, 6, Salakia, Proverbs 6 and 23. So when you're not living according to the law, statutes, and commandments, like it says in Sirach 1 and 26, this is the results you get. You know what I'm saying? Like Richard Sherman said when he tipped the pass away from Michael Crabtree. When you put me up against a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the results you're gonna get. The same way that when you're not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments the way we should be, this is the result you're gonna get. This is what happened to this is a product of our foremothers and forefathers not doing what they were supposed to do, not upholding their end of the covenant of agreement. And now we got brothers hating one another, right? And it says, and it first says in 1 John 3 and 15, let me read this real quick. It says, Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer, and ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him. We can't get to the kingdom of heaven hating one another. And we shouldn't be glorifying if our brother is throwed. We shouldn't be glorifying if our brother killed somebody. We shouldn't be glorifying if our brother did all these multitude of wicked things just because we think it's cool. Like we said, we live in a day and age where wisdom is far from us. It's so backwards. We glorify the wrong things and we hate the right things. We get criticized, even us three brothers up here. We get criticized for trying to teach our people to follow the Bible. But this nation was built on the foundations of the Bible. It was built on the foundations of the Bible. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right? We used to have to say that at school every morning. And guess what? What's so hypocritical is that at the time that the Pledge of Allegiance was written, all men weren't free. All men were not free. You know what I'm saying? A so-called black man in this country wasn't even counted a whole man. We weren't even actually counted men.
Right.
You see how Go ahead.
I don't want to just keep jumping from topic to topic, but it's you have wisdom when you read this Bible, man, and you're reading the Bible for more than just the law, statutes, and commandments and ordinances. You're actually reading it for wisdom. You're actually taking and soaking it in, right? you read things in Proverbs and Psalms and Ecclesiasticus, where it even says things like, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. Right? You have to have wisdom to understand that, right? So you won't end up like Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner, you know, she was into mischief, went over there, got herself locked up, came over here because America got her out. And the once Brittany Griner that didn't stand for the national anthem, didn't, you know, put her hand over her heart, didn't give respect. Now that a gift was given to her to get her out of her situation, which she wouldn't have been in if she wasn't doing folly, right? Now that that gift has been handed to her, guess what? Now she's the proudest American. Now she can't wait to play basketball for her country on the USA team. Now she's standing up, but she the first one to stand up when the national anthem come on. You know what I'm saying? Because a gift destroys the heart. It don't matter what your people went through or what they're still doing to your people. It's all about me, me, me. And that's what I mean by wisdom, man. No matter the ups and the downs, we got to be like the 3 Hebrew boys, and we got to be like Daniel, right? And we got to weather the storm, man. We got to be like those 7 brothers and 2nd Maccabees, man. We got to be like Eliezer. It don't matter what we're going through, whether we get a gift or not. Whether they say, I'll give you lamb instead of pork, just eat it. It don't matter. We have to have wisdom, man. And that's the only way we're going to make it, right? It's a tiny road to eternity. And the only way we're going to make it is if we pass every test, man. You got to have wisdom for that.
Con. Hey, let me because you just said that, man, and I literally posted about that. On my Twitter, what you just said with Brittany Griner, man.
Yeah, man, that's wild. She the first one to stand up now.
Man, when I say I posted about that, like, this was my tweet right here. Like, this was May 19th. And I said, and this is exactly why the Most High said this: thou shalt not rest judgment, thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift. For a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. The same thing like Ecclesiastes 7:7 say, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. You know? Hey, not to jump from topic to topic. All of it's not even topic to topic, because the whole topic is wisdom. This is just different scenarios of where wisdom is not applied, right? So in this Brittany Griner situation, she was not, listen, this is what she said. She said that plans to stand for the national anthem in her first game since she was released from a Russian prison. The 6'9" player previously refused to stand on the basketball court if the anthem played, and even went a step further by saying the U.S. national anthem should not be played at sporting games. According to her agent, who wrote an op-ed in Time, she has now had a change of heart. She has now had a change of heart since spending 10 months in a Russian penal colony. Since spending 10 months in a Russian penal colony on drug charges, and will stand for the American national anthem. She had a change of heart, right? Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. This is exactly what the Most High meant by, if you stand for something, you won't fall for anything. But if you don't truly stand for something, you will fall for everything.
Right, man. And that verse hit home too. It's all a line that you put because it said to blind the eyes of the wise. I want to read something real quick. 2nd Ezra 12:37. Therefore write all these things that thou hast seen in a book, and hide them. Right? Now, when we watch things like the book of Eli, he wasn't telling everybody what he knew. He was a man of few words too. That man had memorized the whole Bible, right? So it's like he could have been telling everybody, but he waited to a specific time because he knew not everybody's ears was meant to hear it, right? Even they was trying to give him money, they was trying to steal and keep him in jail and kill him and all that. He kept his mouth closed. So I want to read this and then the next verse. 2nd Ezra 12:37 again. Therefore write all these things that thou hast seen in a book, and hide them. Right? Verse 38 says, and teach them to the wise of the people. Right? Don't just teach it to everybody, because you know some people are gonna bail out like Brittany Griner, man. Some people just gonna bail out. Right? Teach them to the wise of the people, whose hearts thou knowest may comprehend. A lot of our people, hey, look, it's a waste of breath talking to them. It's a waste of bread because you know they finna slide and just do folly. They don't care, right?
Yeah, that's
So
sometimes we gotta be like that on the street too, man. Being on the street teaching our people, you can clearly tell who has ears to listen, who's at least respectable of your time, right? And you can tell about those that really don't really give a dang about what you got going on, what you got to say. A lot of times, man, we need to start cutting that time short because we're just wasting time when we
Right.
could be teaching somebody that really wants to receive the words, right? So you tell them you tell them the essentials, right? What they got to do. If you feel like it's not sinking in or they're not paying attention, send them on their way. You know what I'm saying? If it's the Lord's will, He'll bring them back. But stop wasting that time and get to the people that actually have ears to hear and a heart to feel what you're saying.
Right. It says, teach them to the wise of the people whose hearts thou knowest may comprehend and keep these secrets. Meaning, Eleazar, all the people that died for this truth, right? You got to be willing to die for these secrets, man. A lot of us, man, we get a gift and we turn into Judas, 30 shekels of silver. I know where he's at. I know where they gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look, not everybody should have these secrets, man. Don't give your pearls to the swine. And you want to be counted wise so that the Most High God can download these things into your spirit, into your mind. Because if you're not wise, He's gonna hide these secrets from you too, just like He commanded Ezra and the elders to do at that time.
Man. What's crazy is, a gift really does destroy the heart, man. You can see it in this situation so strong, right? Because look, right? Brittany Griner doesn't know, man. She's a pawn in all of this, right? You're not really of any level of importance. The only reason why they made effort to come get you is because you're a black woman and you're a homosexual, right? If I save this black woman who is a homosexual, right, and I bring her back to the state, it's gonna tell the citizens, it's gonna look like I'm telling the citizens that LGBTQ, you matter, black women, you matter, right? You're a pawn in all this, right? Brittany Griner doesn't understand that because that gift, right? She's blowing it up to be something that is not. Now it has her in derision. It has her in derision because now something that she used to stand for, right? Now she's feeling like maybe America does care about me. When in hindsight, America still doesn't care about you. But they done tricked you. They done got into your mind when they gave you that gift to make it seem like they care about you. Now you want to stand up because maybe America is the land of the free. Maybe America does support, what I support. You know what I'm saying? And so that gift will set your mind at derision, man, and it will destroy your heart and it'll just push you further and further back. What she should have did in this situation, she's doing a lot of things wrong, sinful wise, right? But she should have still came back on them and standing on her 10 toes and say, I'm not standing for the national anthem still, right? I mean, at this point, they can't send you back. You might as well stand on what you believe in, or you really didn't believe what you said, right? Pecan, you're muted.
Salakia. But this is exactly what we saying. When you got wisdom, some of the situations that we see that happens in our society, man, you just got to know how to handle those situations. The situation, like even going back, let me stop sharing the screen. Let me share a tab, right? Because I don't think I'm gonna play that video again either way it go. But let me just share the window real quick because I want to just point out something. Oh Lord, have mercy, help me out. Oh, okay, here we go. But when you got wisdom, man, petty arguments like this, it ain't going down like that. You know what I'm saying? Like even in the truth, bro, I would be a liar if I said sometimes, man, being in the truth and talking to other men in the truth is vexing because sometimes it makes you want to get to this point because sometimes certain brothers have not been taught the correct way to communicate with other brothers in the truth. In certain situations, man, it makes my blood boil because it angers me how disrespectful some of our brethren are to other brothers, especially when they talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I have communication with brothers who are ignorant in that manner. Like we said, you got to have a clean speech, man. Even in the truth, people don't realize that, but it don't even matter, right? When you look at this, you know what I'm saying? When you look at this and you understand everything that's going on, you see how certain situations can be avoided, man. like the brother was saying, though he's just as much wrong as Hitman is. But you know what I'm saying? When you even when the situation like that, somebody accusing you or saying you ain't this, that, and third, you can just say, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or if at the same time you got to think about it like this, you shouldn't want to, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't want to even sit up here and be like, I know what I did, so like we shouldn't want to live that type of lifestyle. The same thing with um I was gonna play this video. I'm not gonna play it now, but this video is basically from the good wife, and pretty much, man, she's finna whoop her child right here in front of everybody. It's gonna be recorded. They're gonna take her to trial because he's gonna try to run away from her. He's gonna fall and break his arm, and then she starts whooping him again after he tried to run away from her. This is all being recorded because he stole her son, stole her car, and crashed into somebody's mailbox and damaged her car. Bunch of reasons. Common discipline. Um, She's going to trial. Her her lawyer ends up losing the case because the jury rules in favor that the mother committed assault. So they charge her with first degree assault and battery. Same thing that, like we say, wisdom in this situation is understanding that in a public setting, you know what I'm saying, might not be the right place to do that. But at the same time, in this situation, she was using wisdom in disciplining her child. But the world lacks so much wisdom, they don't understand that. So therefore, that they're finna condemn this mother for doing the things that mothers should do. Correct their child, especially if there's no father present. The same thing with Brittany Griner. When you in a situation whereas in you stand for something for your people, this goes to show that she wasn't really for her people when she was saying that she didn't want to stand for the national anthem. It was just a wave. Everybody wasn't doing it, so she wasn't going to be the athlete that was going to be singled out because in her heart, she truly wasn't. She truly wasn't sold that her people really needed justice. She was just sold that she didn't want to stand for the national anthem because Colin Kaepernick made it famous.
Yeah, man. It's really hard when you have all the money in the world. When you're in the millions, it's really hard for you to sympathize with the small people of the world. So when you do actually see somebody that's made it and they're actually genuine, that's an admirable thing. A lot of people just do it for tax breaks and, like the brother said, because it's popular at the time. You know what I'm saying? And their real heart is not with the people, man. A lot of times it's hard not to be selfish when you get that amount of money, when you get that amount of notoriety and fame. So, it's just eventually the things that are held in secret, man, they'll come to the light and you'll see um, if somebody is genuine or not. You'll see if somebody's wise or not. But
The same, hey, look, the same thing like a few years ago, man, when I was in college in 2016. This is after Colin Kaepernick was kneeling for the national anthem. He just started doing this. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, took a knee with his whole team before the game during the national anthem, right? And people thought Jerry Jones was standing with the people. No, Jerry Jones was doing that because Donald Trump called NFL owners out and said, y'all need to start kicking these players off the team who don't want to stand up for the national anthem. Jerry Jones didn't do it from a standpoint of I'm with your people. He did it from a standpoint is this is my business and ain't nobody finna tell me how to run my business regardless of who it is. So I take a knee with him just to tell you that you ain't finna tell me what I need to do pertaining to my business. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes to show that, like we said, oppression maketh the wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. I want to read one precept, real quick. I want to read one precept, then we're gonna close this thing out, man. But Salakia, let me read the book of oh, hold on, wait, I'm in the wrong position. Salakia. This is the book of Ecclesiastes. Salakia, where am I at? Oh, Salakia. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, and I'm going to read verse 16. And it says, Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. Same thing that we say in Sirach 13 and 23. They'll hear a rich man, they won't hear the poor man, right? But we got to understand that 1 Corinthians 2 and 7, man, we speak the wisdom of the Most High, right? And we speak it in a mystery, the same way kind of like Paul did. And that's just kind of like summing up, man. Understanding wisdom. Wisdom will give you certain instances how to handle certain situations. How to handle the situation with Hitman Holla is to go back and watch the video we did about, you know what I'm saying, the Blueface video. We did a video on the tongue. We did a couple of videos on that. Wisdom will show you in certain scriptures how to handle those situations. Wisdom will show you in certain scriptures why you shouldn't be accepting gifts, you know? And that's all for according to the Most High's purpose and plan. So I'm not going to stay on too long because we've been on here for an hour and 17, almost 18 minutes. But Most High willing, man, this lesson was edifying. And hey, man, look, wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. Fear the Lord, keep the commandments. That's how you're going to obtain her. But brothers got a closing precept or a closing statement?
Wow.
Kind. Well, hey, look, once again, hope y'all have a mighty Sabbath day of rest. The water for tuning in. If you was live, if you wasn't live, you watched this after. Shalom to you, peace to you and yours. We the brothers from the Hopeful Elect. We signing off. Going to hit the highways and byways. So, shalom.
Shalom.